Daddy, look! I made a tower. Daniel's little voice rang through the living room, and I glanced at him, his toy block stacked in a crooked column. I smiled. That's amazing, buddy. You're going to be an architect someday. Emily, sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone, barely looked up. He'll knock it over in 2 seconds. Don't flatter him too much. I laughed softly, trying to lighten the mood. Come on, Em, he's 3. He deserves some applause, Daniel clapped for himself, giggling. I did it, Mommy, look! Good job, she muttered, eyes still on her screen. The warmth I felt dimmed, but I brushed it off. I told myself she was tired, maybe stressed. That's what marriage meant, right? Pushing through the quiet moments. At dinner that evening, my parents joined us. My mother's face lit up when Daniel ran into her arms. Oh, my sweet boy, she said, kissing his cheek. You're growing taller every time I see you. Grandma, I made a tower, Daniel announced proudly. My father chuckled. A tower? That's my grandson, always building. I looked at Emily, hoping she'd join in the laughter, but she was stabbing her fork into her salad as though she hated every leaf. You okay? I whispered to her. I'm fine, she replied shortly, not meeting my eyes. Mark, my brother, sat across from us, sipping his drink. His gaze flickered between me and Emily, something unreadable in his expression. So, he said, breaking the silence, how's everything at home? Perfect, I answered quickly, almost defensively. Couldn't be better. Emily raised a brow but said nothing. My mother gave her a gentle smile. Emily, you've been quiet tonight. Everything all right? I'm just tired, Emily said flatly. Long week. I jumped in before the silence grew heavier. Work's been busy for both of us. But Daniel keeps us on our toes. Daniel banged his spoon on the table, laughing. Daddy, watch me! Hey, buddy, I said, ruffling his hair. Tables aren't drums. Everyone chuckled except Emily. She pushed her plate away. I'm not hungry. Mark leaned back, studying her. You sure you're okay? Her jaw tightened. I said I'm fine. I forced a smile, trying to pull the focus back. So, Dad, how's the workshop going? Still fixing that old car? My father smiled warmly. Almost done. Daniel will ride in it with me one day. That's right, Grandpa. Daniel cheered. The table softened again, laughter filling the air. Yet even as I laughed with them, I felt the cold wall beside me. Emily wasn't laughing. Emily wasn't even looking at us. After dinner, as we cleaned up, my mother touched my arm. She seems distant, son. Are you two? We're fine. I cut her off gently. Just stress. Her eyes searched mine, but she didn't push. Later that night, after Daniel was asleep and the house was quiet, I crawled into bed beside Emily. She lay on her back, staring at the ceiling. Long day? I whispered. Don't start. Start what? This. Her voice was sharp. Acting like everything's normal. I blinked. Because it is normal. We're fine. She turned her head, her eyes cold in the dim light. No, we're not. A chill ran through me. What are you saying? She sat up, folding her arms. I don't want to keep pretending. I've been holding this in too long. My chest tightened. Emily, you're scaring me. Her lips pressed into a thin line. Then, with terrifying calm, she spoke. Daniel isn't mine. I froze. What? She repeated it slowly, as if each word was a blade. Daniel. Isn't mine. My ears rang. My heart thudded so loud I thought she'd hear it. Don't joke like that. I'm not joking. Her voice was dead of emotion. I've never felt like he was mine. Because he isn't. The room spun around me. My mouth went dry. You carried him for 9 months. You held him when he was born. What the hell are you saying? She looked away, her face blank. I'll explain soon. But I want a DNA test. I want proof. I shook my head, disbelief crashing through me. Proof? Emily, he's our son. No, she whispered coldly. He's yours. Not mine. Her words sliced me open. I stared at her, unable to breathe, unable to think. Everything I thought was real, every memory, every laugh with her and Daniel, it all twisted into something ugly. She lay back down, turning her back to me. We'll get the test. Then you'll see. I sat there in the dark, shaking, staring at the woman I thought I knew, the woman I loved, the mother of my child. But in that moment, I realized I didn't know her at all. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at her. Say that again, please, because I can't believe what I just heard. Emily crossed her arms. I said I never wanted Daniel. I've been pretending since the day he was born. My chest tightened. Pretending? He calls you mommy every day. He runs to you when he's scared. You tuck him in at night, her voice cut me off. And I hate every second of it. I shook my head, my throat burning. Don't say that. He's your son, she laughed bitterly. No, he's yours. And only yours. I'm done carrying this lie. I want a DNA test, I whispered, my voice cracking. Why? Why do you want that? He's ours. He looks like us. He looks like you. Her eyes narrowed. I don't care how he looks. I want proof I'm not tied to him. I want out. I stood up, pacing. Out of what, Emily? Out of your marriage? Out of your own family? She shrugged coldly. Call it whatever you want. But I'm done. I grabbed her wrist, desperate. Emily, listen to yourself. He's 3 years old. He loves you. How can you? She yanked her arm away. Don't touch me. This isn't about love. This is about truth. I can't live another day pretending he's mine. My chest heaved. So you're saying the last 3 years meant nothing to you? The nights in the hospital? His first steps? His first words? She stared at me with dead eyes. Nothing. I felt something shatter inside me. Emily, please, just tell me why. If I did something, if I failed you, you didn't fail me, she said, voice sharp. I never wanted this life. Not with him. Not with you like this. I want freedom. The bedroom door creaked, and my mother's voice came from the hall. What's going on in here? Emily rolled her eyes. Of course. Your mother always has to be involved. I turned, my hands trembling. Mom, it's nothing. Please, but Emily cut in, her voice loud and cruel. Tell her then. Tell her your perfect little family isn't real. My mother stepped closer, eyes wide. Emily, what are you saying? Emily's lips curled. I'm saying Daniel isn't mine. He never was, my mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. How dare you? Daniel's small voice floated from the doorway. Daddy, why is Mommy angry? My heart cracked in two. He was standing there in his pajamas, clutching his stuffed bear, eyes wide and scared. I rushed to him, kneeling down. Hey, buddy, it's okay. Mommy's just upset. Go back to bed, all right? He shook his head, lip trembling. Did I do something bad? Tears stung my eyes. No, Daniel. You didn't do anything. You're perfect. Daddy loves you so much. He glanced past me at Emily. Mommy? She didn't move. Didn't say a word. I picked him up, holding him tight. Come on, champ. Let's go back to your room. As I carried him away, I heard my mother whisper furiously, Emily, how could you say such a thing to a child? Emily's cold reply drifted after me. Because it's true. In Daniel's room, I tucked him back in, kissing his forehead. Sleep, buddy. I'll be right here. Mommy doesn't like me, he mumbled. My voice broke. That's not true. She's just confused. But Daddy will never stop loving you. Ever. His eyes closed slowly, his little hand gripping mine until he drifted to sleep. When I stepped out, Mark was waiting in the hall, arms crossed. His jaw was tight. I heard everything. I rubbed my face, exhausted. She doesn't mean it. She can't mean it, Mark's voice dropped. She meant it. And I think there's more. She's hiding something, brother. I shook my head. No, this is just stress. Maybe she's sick, depressed. He grabbed my shoulder. Listen to me. I've seen her. I've seen the way she sneaks around, the calls she takes when you're not looking. She's hiding something bigger. I stared at him, my stomach twisting. What are you saying? I'm saying brace yourself, Mark said firmly. Because this is only the beginning. I leaned against the wall, shaking. My world felt like it was cracking apart piece by piece. I don't know what to do. You hold on to Daniel, he said. That's what you do. I swallowed hard, nodding. He's all I've got. That night, after the house grew silent, I slipped back into Daniel's room. I lay beside him, his tiny body curled against mine. I listened to his soft breathing, clutching him like he was the only thing keeping me alive. Inside, rage burned. Confusion tore at me. But when I looked at him, innocence in his sleep, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. No matter what Emily did, no matter what truths she tried to twist, Daniel was mine. And I would never let him go. The clinic smelled like disinfectant and silence. I held Daniel's hand as we walked in, his tiny fingers squeezing mine. Why are we here, Daddy? he asked. I forced a smile. Just a quick checkup, buddy. Emily walked ahead of us, heels clicking, her eyes glued to her phone. She didn't even look back. At the counter, the receptionist asked, "Names?" "Emily and James Carter," I said, my throat dry. "And our son, Daniel," Emily corrected, her tone sharp. "His son." The receptionist blinked but said nothing as she slid forms across the desk. I grabbed a pen, signing quickly. My hands shook. Emily leaned against the counter, texting someone. "Who are you talking to?" I asked under my breath. "No one," she replied flatly. I stared at her screen, but she tilted it away. Daniel tugged on my sleeve. "Daddy, are we going home after this?" "Yes, champ." "We'll get ice cream." His eyes lit up. "Strawberry?" "Anything you want," Emily muttered. "Don't make promises you can't keep," I snapped, louder than I meant to. "He's 3, Emily. Let him have something to look forward to." She didn't respond. A nurse in scrubs appeared. "Mr. and Mrs. Carter?" "We're ready." We followed her down the hall. The room was white, cold, with 2 chairs and a tray of swabs. Daniel climbed into my lap. The nurse smiled at him. "We're just going to take a quick cheek swab, sweetie." "It won't hurt," Daniel frowned. "Like a doctor?" "Kinda like that," I said softly, kissing his hair. "But easy." The nurse swabbed him first. He squirmed but giggled. "It tickles." "See?" I smiled. "Nothing scary." Then she handed swabs to Emily and me. Emily did hers with robotic efficiency, like she couldn't wait to be done. When it was my turn, my hands shook again. I forced myself to do it quickly. The nurse collected everything. "The results will take a few days. We'll notify you." Emily crossed her arms. "I want them expedited." The nurse hesitated. "That costs extra." "Money isn't the issue," Emily snapped. I clenched my jaw. "Emily, calm down." She glared at me. "Don't tell me to calm down." "I want the truth as soon as possible." The nurse nodded awkwardly. "We'll do our best." She left, closing the door behind her. The silence felt suffocating. I whispered, "Do you even hear yourself?" "You're talking like Daniel's some stranger." "Because he is," she hissed. Daniel looked up at me, confused. "Daddy, why is Mommy mad?" I forced a smile, even as my chest ached. "She's not mad at you, champ." "She's just tired," Emily scoffed. I stroked Daniel's hair, whispering, "You're perfect. Don't listen to anyone who says otherwise." He grinned and hugged my neck. "I love you, Daddy." My eyes burned. "I love you more." Emily stood by the wall, arms crossed, staring at her phone again. She typed furiously. I asked quietly, "Who are you texting, Emily?" "Stop asking. Is it someone I know?" She shot me a look that froze me. "Mind your own business." I bit back words, holding Daniel tighter. The door opened and the nurse peeked in. "You're all set. You can check out at the desk." We walked back down the hall. My parents were waiting in the lobby. My mother rushed to Daniel, hugging him. "My darling, was it scary?" He giggled. "It tickled, Grandma." My father's eyes went straight to me. "How'd it go?" I shrugged. "They'll call us." Emily brushed past him, already on her phone again. My father muttered, low enough for only me to hear, "Son, something's not right. Brace yourself." His words made my stomach twist. At the counter, I paid while Emily scrolled. My mother bent down to Daniel. "Want to come home with Grandma for dinner?" He nodded eagerly. "Yes," Emily muttered. "Fine. Less noise in the house," I snapped. "Stop talking about him like that." She smirked without looking up. "Touchy, aren't we?" Mark appeared, leaning against the wall. "Everything all right here?" I sighed. "We're done." He looked at Emily, then back at me. "Doesn't look like it." Emily ignored him, walking ahead. As we stepped outside, the air felt heavier. My parents whispered behind us. I caught fragments, "not normal, dangerous, protect the boy." I tightened my grip on Daniel's hand. Emily walked ahead, her silhouette cold, distant, her words replayed in my head over and over, "He's not mine." Each time, the phrase cut deeper. What did she mean? What truth was hiding behind her icy stare? I didn't know, but I felt the ground beneath me shifting, like the life I thought I had was crumbling into pieces I couldn't put back together. The envelope lay on the table like a weapon. My fingers shook as I reached for it. "Open it," Emily said coldly. "Let's end this charade." My throat felt dry. Do you even care what this says? She crossed her arms. I already know what it will say. I tore the seal slowly, my heart hammering against my ribs. The papers slid out, heavy with truth. My eyes darted to the printed lines. No! My voice cracked. This can't be real. What does it say? My mother's trembling voice came from behind me. I swallowed, forcing the words out. Daniel, he's biologically mine, gasps filled the room. Relief flickered through me for a split second before the next line punched me in the chest. But he's not Emily's. The room froze. What? My father's booming voice cut through the silence. My mother covered her mouth. Not hers? Emily smirked, her eyes glinting with something sharp. Finally. The truth is out. I turned to her, my voice breaking. What truth? Explain it to me. How could you not be Daniel's mother? She tilted her head, almost amused. Because I made sure of it. The words clawed at my ears. What are you saying? I swapped him, she said flatly. At the hospital. Right after birth. Gasps erupted again. My knees nearly buckled. You swapped him? Her lips curled. The baby they gave me wasn't going to tie me down. I had my reasons. I took the chance when no one was looking. I staggered back. You traded our child? For what? For who? She shrugged like it was nothing. I had to bury my past. That baby wasn't mine to raise. My mother's sobs echoed. Emily, how could you do that? My father's voice was thunder. That's not just cruel, it's criminal. I pressed my hand to my chest, struggling to breathe. Daniel, my boy, he's mine, but not yours. You lied for years, played mother while knowing. Emily's gaze was ice. I never wanted him. I told you that already. Mommy? Daniel's small voice floated from the doorway. I froze. Daniel, go back to your room. But he stepped closer, confusion clouding his eyes. Why is everyone shouting? Why is Mommy angry? My stomach twisted. He had heard too much already. Emily's eyes flicked to him with disgust. Go away, Daniel! No! I snapped. Don't you talk to him like that. Daniel's lip trembled. Did I do something bad, Daddy? Am I bad? My heart shattered. I dropped to my knees and pulled him close. No, son. You're not bad. You're the best thing in my life. Don't ever think otherwise. He clung to me, his small hands trembling. My mother cried harder. That poor child. To hear such words, Emily scoffed. Spare me the theatrics. He's not my responsibility anymore. I glared at her, rage boiling. Not your responsibility? You've raised him for years. You looked him in the eye, tucked him into bed, called yourself his mother, only to throw him away now? Her face hardened. Don't twist it. I never loved him. I only played the role because I had to. My father stepped forward, fists clenched. You heartless woman. Do you even hear yourself? Emily laughed bitterly. Spare me your judgment. None of you know what it cost me to keep up this farce. I stood, holding Daniel tight. Then tell me, Emily, tell me why. What past were you hiding that you would steal a child and raise him as yours, only to abandon him now? She sneered. You wouldn't understand. Try me. I roared, her smirk faltered. For a split second, fear flashed in her eyes, but she quickly masked it. I don't owe you explanations. The truth is enough. He's yours, not mine. End of story. My hands shook. No, this is just the beginning. You can't walk away after destroying everything. Emily grabbed her purse. Watch me. She stormed toward the door, but my father blocked her path. You're not leaving until you answer. She glared up at him. Get out of my way, old man! Robert, my mother whispered through her tears. Please, don't fight. My father's jaw tightened, but he stepped aside slowly. Emily smirked and yanked the door open. Daniel's voice cracked as he called after her. Mommy, don't go. She didn't even look back. I was never your mommy. The door slammed shut. Daniel burst into sobs against my chest. I kissed the top of his head, my tears mixing with his. Don't listen to her, Daniel. She's wrong. You're mine. You'll always be mine. My mother knelt beside us, stroking his hair. Sweet boy, you're loved. Don't ever doubt that. My father's hand landed firmly on my shoulder. His voice was steady but heavy with sorrow. Son, the truth is on your side now. No matter how painful, you hold the proof. I looked at the crumpled paper in my trembling hand, the ink blurring through my tears. Proof that Daniel was my flesh and blood, but proof too of Emily's monstrous betrayal. Daniel's small voice broke through my haze. Daddy, will you still keep me? I hugged him tighter, my voice raw. Forever, Daniel. Forever. The house felt hollow with Emily gone, but her shadow lingered like poison. My chest ached with rage, confusion, and grief. Yet when I looked at my son, I knew one thing was certain. I would never let him feel unwanted again. Mark's voice was low, almost guilty. There's something I never told you. I narrowed my eyes. What do you mean? He shifted uncomfortably. I saw Emily once. With Alex. The name burned my ears. Alex, her ex? Mark nodded. Yeah, a year after your wedding. I thought maybe it was harmless, but the way she looked at him, it wasn't how a married woman should look. I clenched my fists. Why didn't you tell me then? I didn't want to ruin your happiness, he muttered. But after everything, I can't stay silent anymore. I sank into the chair, my chest heavy. So she was lying to me from the start. Mark hesitated. There's more. I think she planned this. She didn't want Daniel. She wanted the comfort of being with you, without the responsibility. His words stabbed deeper than I expected. Planned? Everything? He nodded grimly. Check her phone. Check her old stuff if you still have it. I rushed to the drawer where I kept boxes of our old things. My hands shook as I opened one and pulled out her forgotten phone. I powered it on. Surprisingly, it still worked. My heart pounded as I scrolled through messages, and there it was, her words to Alex. He trusts me too much. Once the baby is out, I'll handle it. I'm not raising his kid. Another message. The hospital will cooperate. I already have someone in my pocket. I slammed the phone down. She orchestrated it. Mark leaned forward, anger darkening his face. She used you, brother. Every smile, every word calculated. I grabbed the phone again, my vision blurring. I need answers from the hospital. The next morning, I stood in the sterile hallway of the maternity ward where Daniel had been born. My voice was firm when I confronted the receptionist. I need access to the birth records of my son. Something isn't right, the woman frowned. Sir, those are confidential. Then bring someone who was there that night, I snapped. After a tense wait, a nurse walked in, Linda. She looked nervous. Avoiding my eyes. Linda, I said, my voice sharp. You were on duty the night Daniel was born. Weren't you? She nodded slowly. Yes. I was. I leaned in. Then explain this. I shoved Emily's messages at her. She claimed she had the hospital's help. Did she force you? Linda's lips trembled. Please, I can't. You can. I cut her off, rage boiling. Because this is my son's life. My family's life. Tell me the truth. Tears filled her eyes. Emily, she pressured me. She said if I didn't help her, she'd ruin me. She made me switch the paperwork, claimed it was for her privacy. I never thought it would go this far. My stomach churned. So you covered it up? You let her steal my child's truth? I'm sorry, she whispered. I regret it every day, but I was terrified. I slammed my fist against the counter, making her flinch. Do you understand what you've done? Daniel has lived his whole life under a lie. Mark put a hand on my shoulder, grounding me. Calm down, brother. We have what we need. I turned back to Linda, my voice shaking. You're going to write a statement. Every detail. No more lies. She nodded quickly, tears streaming down her face. I'll do it. I'll tell everything. Walking out of the hospital, my rage consumed me. Emily hadn't just betrayed me. She had twisted everyone around her, manipulated lives as if they were nothing. Mark muttered, She's more dangerous than we thought. I could barely respond. My head spun, my chest burned. Every word, every discovery poisoned me further. Then I saw Daniel waiting at home. He ran toward me, his innocent smile lighting up the room. Daddy, you're back! I dropped to my knees and hugged him tight, burying my face in his hair. His laughter bubbled against my ear, pure and warm, and in that moment, my fury softened just enough for me to breathe. Daddy, why are you squeezing me so much? He giggled. I forced a shaky smile. Because you remind me what matters, son. You're my reason to keep fighting. Mark watched silently, his expression heavy but protective. As I held Daniel, one thought echoed in my mind like a vow carved into stone. Emily may have built her world on lies, but I would burn it all down with the truth. Mark stormed into my living room, his face pale. You're not going to believe this. I looked up, exhausted. What now? He slammed a stack of papers onto the table. Bank records. Emily's been transferring money, large sums, to Alex. My throat tightened. That can't be right. Mark jabbed his finger at the printouts. Look for yourself. Every month, hidden under fake expenses. She's been supporting him behind your back. I sank back in the chair, disbelief crashing over me. So she's not only a liar, she's a thief. My father, Robert, who had been listening, muttered, "She's bleeding you dry. Son, divorce her before she destroys everything." My mother's voice trembled. "She's dangerous." She tricked all of us. "Please end this before it's too late." I rubbed my forehead, torn apart. "And Daniel? What happens to him if I rip this family apart?" Mark leaned closer. "He deserves the truth, not a life built on her deception." Before I could respond, the door creaked open. Emily walked in, her eyes sharp as knives. "So this is your little family meeting? Talking about me behind my back?" I shot to my feet. "Don't play games, Emily. I know about the money." Her lips curved into a mocking smile. Finally found out. "Took you long enough?" Rage boiled in me. "You've been funneling my hard-earned money to Alex while living in my house, pretending to be my wife?" She folded her arms, calm as ice. "Why shouldn't I? You gave me everything, and I took it. That's what you do when you're smarter than the fool you marry." My mother gasped. "How can you be so cruel?" Emily's eyes flicked to her, cold and dismissive. "Don't act shocked. You all wanted the perfect picture, and I gave it to you. But perfection costs." I slammed my fist against the table. "Enough! You think this is a game? You've destroyed trust, family, everything." Her smirk vanished, replaced with venom. "If you expose me, I'll ruin you. Don't forget I know things. Things that could bury you." I froze, stunned by her audacity. "You're threatening me? After all this?" She stepped closer, her voice a hiss. "Yes, because desperation makes people dangerous. Push me and you'll regret it." Robert's voice thundered. "Leave this house, Emily." But Emily only laughed. "This is my house too. You think you can just push me out? Try it." Daniel's footsteps echoed down the hall. "Daddy, Mommy? Why are you yelling again?" I turned, forcing a smile. "It's okay, buddy. Go back to your room." He hesitated, eyes wide with worry before retreating. My heart broke as his small shadow disappeared. Emily tilted her head. "See? You can't get rid of me without hurting him. And you'd never risk that, would you?" I glared at her. "You underestimate me. You think I'm blind, but I see you clearly now." Her smirk returned. "Then prove it. Show the world who I really am. But when you do, I'll make sure you lose everything. Your job, your friends, even Daniel." I clenched my teeth. "You're bluffing, am I?" she whispered. "Try me." The room grew suffocating, her words clawing at my chest. She wasn't afraid, she was cornered. And cornered people strike recklessly. Mark whispered to me, "Don't react now. Gather proof. Quietly. Make sure when she falls she can't crawl back." I nodded slowly, swallowing the fire inside me. "You're right. No more mistakes." Emily's eyes narrowed, suspicious. "What are you planning?" I forced a hollow laugh. "Nothing. You've already won, haven't you?" She studied me for a moment, then turned toward the stairs. "Remember what I said. Cross me and I'll ruin you." As her footsteps faded, silence wrapped around us. My mother clutched my hand. "She's poisonous."
"Please end this nightmare," I whispered, more to myself than to them. "I will."
But not on her terms. She thinks I'm powerless. She has no idea who she's dealing with now. Robert placed a firm hand on my shoulder. "Son, the truth is your weapon. Use it." I looked at Daniel's closed door, his innocence shielded from the storm outside. My chest tightened, but my resolve hardened. I muttered under my breath, "For you, Daniel. I'll expose her, piece by piece. And when she falls, there'll be no coming back." Mark leaned across the kitchen table, his voice low but urgent. "I've compiled everything, bank transfers, text logs, Linda's statement. She's trapped." I stared at the folder he slid toward me. "This is everything?" He nodded. "Everything. Enough to bury her." I flipped through the pages, my hands trembling. God, it's worse than I thought. "Wait," Mark said, pulling out a small recorder. "Listen to this." He pressed play. Emily's voice hissed through the tiny speaker. "I never loved him. Daniel was a mistake. He was my shield, my way to stay safe while I built the life I wanted." I shut it off, my stomach turning. "She actually said that?" Mark's jaw clenched. "I recorded it while you were upstairs. She bragged about it on the phone to someone, probably Alex." My chest felt like it was on fire. She used me. Used Daniel. All this time, Mark gripped my shoulder. Now you have proof. She can't hide anymore. I looked at him, the first flicker of strength rising in me. Then it's time. We end this on our terms. That evening I called everyone. My parents, Mark, even Alex through an anonymous message. Meet at the house tomorrow night. It's about Emily. My father's voice was heavy over the phone. Son, are you sure? Yes, I said. It ends tomorrow. The next night, the living room buzzed with tension. My mother clutched her hands, Mark stood tall, and Alex leaned against the wall, looking uneasy. Emily swept in like she owned the room. What's this? Some kind of ambush? I stood in the center, holding the folder. It's the truth, Emily. Sit down. She smirked but sat, crossing her legs. Fine. Entertain me. I opened the folder and began laying out the papers one by one. Bank transfers. Hidden accounts. Payments to Alex. Messages where you called me a fool. Her smirk faltered. You went through my accounts? You stole from me, I snapped. I have every right. Alex shifted, his arms folding. Emily, is this true? She shot him a glare. Don't start with me. I pulled out the recorder and pressed play. Her own words filled the room. I never loved him. Daniel was a mistake. He was my shield, my mother gasped, covering her mouth. Mark stared at Emily with disgust. I stopped the recording. Do you deny it? Emily's face hardened. So what if I said it? You were weak. Easy. I took what I wanted. Alex stepped forward, his tone sharp. You told me you were leaving him because he was abusive. You said you loved me. She laughed bitterly. Loved you? Don't flatter yourself. You were just another piece of my plan. His jaw dropped. You're unbelievable. I spread the papers across the coffee table. This is your double life, Emily, and now everyone sees it. For the first time, I saw her confidence crack. You think this will ruin me? It already has, I said quietly. Mark added, You can't spin your way out of this. Emily's eyes darted around the room, landing on Alex. You help me. Tell them, he shook his head, stepping back. No, I'm done with you. She turned to my parents. Robert, Clara, you know me. You know I wouldn't. My mother's voice shook with fury. I don't know you at all. You're a stranger who used our son and our grandson. Emily's face twisted. He's not my son. I don't owe him anything. From the hallway, Daniel's small voice cut through the tension. Daddy, why is Mommy yelling again? I rushed to the doorway. It's okay, buddy. Stay in your room. He peeked out anyway, eyes wide. Did I do something bad? My throat closed. No, sweetheart. You're perfect, Emily muttered. Perfect? He's a mistake. I spun on her, my voice like steel. Don't you dare say that again. Silence fell. Everyone stared at her. Her mask slipped, and for the first time I saw something flicker behind her eyes. Fear. Alex crossed his arms. You've burned every bridge, Emily. Mark stepped closer to me. What's next? I straightened, feeling my hands steady. Divorce papers. Full custody. Criminal charges if necessary. Emily laughed, but it sounded brittle. You wouldn't dare. I stared at her. Watch me. Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked at Alex, at Mark, at my parents, at me. No one moved to defend her. My father spoke, his voice calm but firm. The truth is out. It's over. Emily's eyes filled with something like panic. You can't do this to me. I'll ruin you. I stepped closer, lowering my voice so only she could hear. You already tried. But now it's my turn. Her hands trembled. I never thought you had it in you. I didn't, I said softly. But you gave it to me. She backed away, her face pale. You'll regret this. No, I replied. For the first time, I won't. The room stayed quiet as she grabbed her bag and fled, the door slamming behind her. Mark exhaled. You did it. The tables have turned. I looked at Daniel's door, then at the folder of evidence. This isn't over yet. But for once, I'm not the one afraid. My mother touched my arm. We're with you. All of us. I nodded, the weight in my chest easing. Then let's finish what she started. On my terms. For the first time in years, I felt power in my own hands. Emily's reign was cracking, and she knew it. The fear I saw in her eyes wasn't just shock. It was the realization that her lies had finally run out. Emily stormed into my lawyer's office as if she still held power. This is ridiculous. Daniel is mine. The house is mine. You can't just strip everything away. My lawyer, Mr. Harris, slid the papers across the table. These are the divorce filings. Custody is being sought in full by your husband. Her eyes darted to me. You're really doing this? After everything? I held her gaze. After everything, yes, she scoffed, but her voice cracked. You think you'll win? Mr. Harris answered calmly. With the evidence provided, he already has. Her face flushed. Evidence? Lies, you mean? I leaned forward. Recordings, bank records, your own words. Not lies, truth. She slammed her hand against the table. You think you're so righteous, but you've destroyed us? No, I said quietly. You destroyed yourself. The door opened and her parents stepped in. Her father's face was hard, her mother's tear-streaked. Emily froze. Mom, Dad, what are you doing here? Her father's voice was cold. We came because we had to see it for ourselves. And now we know, she stood quickly. No, you can't believe him. He twisted everything. Her mother shook her head. The recording was your voice, Emily. Those words, they broke me. Emily's lips trembled. I was angry. I didn't mean them. Her father's jaw tightened. You meant every word. You used him. You lied to us. To everyone. I stayed silent, watching her crumble in front of them. Emily stepped forward, reaching for her mother. Please don't turn on me. You're all I have. Her mother pulled back. Not anymore. We raised you better than this, her father added, voice like stone. From this day forward, you are no daughter of mine. Emily staggered as if struck. No, you can't disown me. Her mother's tears fell harder. You disowned yourself the moment you betrayed your family. Emily turned to me desperately. Tell them it's not true. Tell them you still love me. I shook my head. I don't. Not anymore. Her face twisted in panic. Then Alex, he'll stand by me. The office door creaked again and Alex walked in. He looked tired, his eyes filled with disappointment. Emily rushed toward him. Finally! Tell them you believe me. Tell them you're with me. Alex stopped her with a raised hand. You lied to me too. You told me he was abusive. You said you wanted a new life with me. But it was all a game, wasn't it? Her mouth opened and closed. No, I loved you, he shook his head. If that were true, you wouldn't have been paying me with his money. You wouldn't have been planning your escape behind my back. She froze. How did you? I saw the bank records, he said flatly. You used me too, her voice cracked. I didn't mean, you always mean it, he interrupted. I was just another pawn. Emily collapsed into a chair, tears spilling down her cheeks. Please, all of you, don't leave me like this. Her father turned away. Alex shoved his hands into his pockets. My lawyer packed the documents neatly, unfazed. I rose to my feet. You begged before, Emily. Every sorry sounds the same now, hollow, empty. She looked up at me with wild eyes. I can change. I'll be better. No, I said firmly. You had years to be better. This is who you are. Her sobs grew louder, but they felt rehearsed, almost theatrical. Daniel tugged at my sleeve. He had slipped quietly into the office with my mother. His little voice whispered, Daddy, don't cry anymore. My chest tightened. I knelt down and hugged him. I won't, buddy. Not anymore. He clung to me, burying his face in my shoulder. Emily reached toward him, her hands shaking. Daniel, come here. Mommy needs you. Daniel turned his face away. I want to stay with Daddy. Her breath caught. No, don't say that. You're my son, I stood, holding him close. He's not your shield anymore. He's my son, and he deserves better. Emily rose unsteadily, her voice shrill. You can't take everything from me. Mr. Harris handed her the final page. Legally, he can. And he has. She snatched the paper, her eyes scanning it. No money? No custody? Nothing? Nothing, I replied. Her shoulders shook violently.
This isn't fair.
Karma isn't real. You'll see. I'll come back from this. I shook my head slowly. Karma already came. You're living it, her father muttered. You reap what you sow, Emily screamed, her voice echoing through the office. You'll all regret this! But no one flinched. No one defended her. She crumpled into the chair again, sobbing into her hands, alone in her storm. I turned to my lawyer. Let's finish this. He nodded. Consider it done. Daniel squeezed my neck. Can we go home now, Daddy? I kissed his hair. Yes, son. We're going home. As I carried him out, I heard Emily's voice break behind me. Please, someone, don't leave me. No one answered. For the first time, I didn't look back. Daniel sat on the edge of his bed, hugging his stuffed bear.
Daddy, he whispered, why did Mommy leave?
I knelt down until my eyes were level with his. She made choices that hurt people, buddy. But you'll always have me. His lower lip trembled. Was it my fault? I cupped his face. Never. None of this was your fault. He blinked at me. Then why didn't she stay? I swallowed hard. Sometimes grown-ups do things we can't understand. But I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. He nodded slowly, leaning against me. Promise? I promise, I said, pulling him into a hug. You're safe now. My mother's voice came from the doorway. Do you need help, sweetheart? I turned to her. We're okay, Mom, just talking. Daniel peeked at her. Grandma, can you read to me later? She smiled. Of course, darling. I'll be in the living room. When she left, Daniel whispered, I like Grandma here. It feels warm. I kissed his hair. Me too. Later that evening, Mark dropped by. He crouched beside Daniel. Hey, champ, want to help me build a toy car? Daniel's face brightened. Really? Really, Mark said, holding up a small kit. We'll make it super fast. Daniel ran to grab the pieces. I watched them together, a lump forming in my throat. Mark glanced at me. How are you holding up? I exhaled. One day at a time. Betrayal leaves marks, he nodded. But you're not alone. I looked at Daniel laughing as Mark explained the instructions. He's my anchor. He keeps me standing. Mark's eyes softened. He's lucky to have you. And you're lucky to have him. I sat on the couch, listening to their voices. The past few months replayed in flashes. Papers, accusations, tears. But for the first time, the images didn't choke me. Daniel looked up from the pieces. Daddy, are you sad? I forced a smile. Not anymore. Watching you smile makes me happy, he grinned. Then I'll smile forever. I felt tears prick my eyes. That would be amazing, Mark chuckled softly. You're both stronger than you think, I leaned back. Revenge used to fill my mind. But it's gone now. Karma already handled Emily. Daniel rolled the toy car across the floor. I don't miss her, he said quietly. I reached for his hand. It's okay to miss people even when they hurt us. But we can still build something new. He squeezed my fingers. Just us? Us, Grandma, Grandpa, and Uncle Mark, I said. A whole team loving you. Daniel's eyes shone. Then I'm not scared anymore. I hugged him close. You don't have to be. We're rebuilding, and this time it's real. I stood by the fence at Daniel's school, watching him run across the yard. His laughter carried above the noise of children chasing each other. My chest tightened, but this time it wasn't pain, it was strength. Daddy, he shouted, waving when he spotted me. I smiled and waved back. Having fun, buddy? He sprinted over. Yeah! We played tag, and I was the fastest. I knelt. The fastest, huh? I believe it. He puffed his chest. Do you think Mommy would be proud? The question hit me like a stone. I steadied my voice.
Daniel, some people don't know how to love the right way.
But I'm proud of you every single day. He tilted his head. So, it's okay if she's not here? I touched his shoulder. It's more than okay. You and I, we're building our own future. He nodded slowly, then grinned. Then I'll make it the best future ever. I laughed softly. That's the spirit. A teacher walked by and whispered, He's doing better. You're doing something right. I gave a small nod. Thank you. He deserves peace. Daniel tugged my sleeve. Can we go for ice cream? Of course, I said. But first, promise me something. He looked curious. What? Never doubt that you're loved. Not for a second, he wrapped his arms around my neck. I won't, because you tell me every day. I hugged him back tightly, feeling the last fragments of Emily's shadow slip away. She once told me he wasn't hers, and in a way, she was right. She never deserved him. Daniel pulled back. Why are you smiling? Because, I whispered, I finally understand what matters. He tilted his head. Is it me? It's us, I said. You and me together. Hand in hand, we walked out of the schoolyard. The world around us felt lighter, even with the scars still carved inside me. Daniel swung our joined hands. Daddy, are we happy now? I looked down at him, his innocent eyes shining. Yes, Daniel. We're happy. And we're only going to get happier. He beamed. Then let's keep walking. So we did. Step by step, forward into a future that no betrayal could take away. I whispered under my breath, words only I could hear. She lost everything, and I found what really matters. Daniel tugged again. What did you say? I smiled. I said, we're unbreakable. He squeezed my hand.
Forever?
Forever, I answered. And together, scarred but stronger, broken but unbroken, we kept walking into tomorrow.